11 questions about heaven answered by Dr. David Jeremiah. 1. Does Jesus have a physical body in heaven? Just like we currently bear the image of Adam, we will one day bear the image of Jesus and have a body like him. Jesus tells us in Luke 24 verse 39 that his body is real. Handle me and see, for a spirit does not have flesh and bones as you see I have. Jesus' body was real, and we will have a real body in heaven. 2. What will our resurrected bodies be like? The first thing Paul teaches us about our resurrected bodies in 1 Corinthians 15 is that it is not like our current body. Our current body is subject to aging, disease, and death. But our resurrection bodies are incorruptible. You will never get old nor grow tired. You will never suffer disease or age or death. 3. What will we do in heaven? The concept of serving God in heaven reoccurs throughout the book of Revelation. For example, Revelation 7 verse 15 says, "Therefore they are before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he who sits on the throne will dwell among them." Emphasis mine. I'm thankful, because I would struggle with a heaven where there is nothing to do. When we get to heaven, we will continue to serve God with the gifts he has given us. 4. Will we know each other in heaven? Jesus in his resurrection body was real, and his disciples recognized him. That's the way it will be for you. It is unthinkable that in heaven we will know less than we do here. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12 says, "For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known." We will have a greater sense of recognition in heaven than we've ever had on earth. 5. Will we eat in heaven? This is one of the questions I hear most often. I can tell you, there are 2 occasions in the Bible where Jesus ate after his resurrection. One in Luke 24 verses 42 to 43, and another in John 21 verses 12 to 13. Based on our observations of Jesus' new body, we can be confident we will eat in heaven, and without the negative effects of weight gain and acid reflux. We will be able to eat purely for our enjoyment and no longer for our sustenance. 6. Will heaven be boring? Our God is not boring. How then can heaven be boring? Psalm 16 verse 11 says, "You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Emphasis mine. In his presence is the completeness and absolute explosion of joy. Heaven is God's place, and God is not boring, so I am confident we will not be bored. 7. Does purgatory exist? The concept of purgatory says you can go to a holding place after death where you have the possibility of changing your eternal destiny. That is not true. Purgatory does not exist. Whatever decisions we make about eternity will be made here and now on earth. You don't get another chance. Today is the day of salvation. 8. Will I go to heaven? Only those who are written in the Lamb's Book of Life will go to heaven. Your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead. Romans 10 verse 9. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven." Luke 10 verse 20. 9. Is hell real? Yes, hell is a very real place. When a person dies today, and they don't know Jesus, their soul and spirit goes to Hades. One day, according to Revelation 20 verses 13 to 14, death and Hades will be thrown into the lake of fire, the final and ultimate hell. Hell is real, and it is eternal separation from God and all his goodness. 10. Where is paradise? When a believer died in the Old Testament, their soul and spirit went to paradise. And on the day of Jesus' ascension, paradise changed. Ephesians 4 verses 8 to 10 says Jesus led captivity captive and took them with him to heaven. He went into paradise and took all the Old Testament saints and took them to heaven with him. 11. Why should we learn about heaven? God has prepared a place for you to live for eternity. When we lose sight of that, we try to create heaven on earth. We can go to the extreme, spending all our money to buy the biggest house and get all the new toys. And there is nothing wrong with those things, but they will never compare to what awaits us in heaven. If we aren't careful, we can end up replacing our hunger for heaven with cheap things that will leave us empty. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends and family. And if you have any prayer requests or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I would love to pray for you and support you in any way I can. Once again, thank you for watching, and may God bless you abundantly.